Good morning. It is Monday, April 18th, 2022, day after Easter, and we're back here for Daily Shakeup number 523. And today I want to talk about, the concept of cultural norms, one in particular, and how we can miss an opportunity or in fact create unintended impact because we fall back on the idea that, hey, it's a cultural norm. That's what everybody does. So last week I was helping my son pack up his apartment for a move. And I looked around, there were things we were donating. It was a lot of stuff donated. I said, well, here's a couple things that people might really want. So I put them on Facebook Marketplace. And I've sold things on there before. So I've seen this before. One thing in particular was a pair of patio chairs. Listed them for, I think it was $60. And immediately had a lot of interest. They were really nice chairs. I wasn't trying to make a bunch of money, just let's get them out there. And had all sorts of people responding, but one couple in particular said, we really want these chairs, but we can't come till later. And, my choice, I said, well, why don't you just, Venmo me part of the money? And they said, well, we really want to pay cash. Now, at this point, I could have said no, fully own that, but they seemed sincere. And I said, okay, fine, come at this time. And I was not there at the time. They show up and they just glanced at the chairs, really didn't inspect them. And my son was there and said, hey, will you take 50? Now, they didn't say the chairs weren't what they were promised. They didn't say they had an issue with the chairs. They just wanted to pay less money. And I understand that we often want to pay less money. And I understand there's a thing such as negotiation. I get that. But here's the difference. This was a situation where they had said, we want it. And I said, well, I'm going to let other people know that it's not available. And they knew that. So I made decisions based upon their commitment. And while I understand the need to see something, it was pretty clear to me, they really never intended to pay $60. They wanted to pay less because that's what we do. We negotiate everything, especially things like this when we're selling things online. But think about, and did they think about the impact? And it wasn't about the money, it was about the principle and the mindset of, hey, I'm here, but I'm going to offer you less money just to see if I can. We can all say, well, yes, we can always say no. Absolutely. But what's the mindset and where is that showing up elsewhere? Where is it showing up at work? Where are we doing that with our employees? Where are we doing that with our vendors? Where we say, hey, we were a relational business. We want to build relationships with you. And yet people like our team members or the people we do business with, we treat them like a vendor, we treat them like a commodity, and we engage in these conversations trying to get what's best for us without thinking about, is this really relational? Now, certainly that was a transaction, right? There's no question. I mean, would I ever do business with them again if I had the opportunity? No, of course not. I would not because of that. And maybe they're saying it wasn't intended to be relational. But the question is, where are we relational? Where are we not? And do we realize when we're not? And how often are we falling back on, hey, this is what everybody does. It's a cultural norm without thinking about the impact. And is that cultural norm in alignment with our values? That's why it's so hard to really live our values, because it's so easy to do what everyone else does without thinking about the impact on our values. So that's just something to ponder for today. That's it for today. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. By all means, stay connected.